Hello and welcome to another episode of Jumping Let's Play with me, Adam, from Board at Home. This week's episode we are taking a look at the new release, Sobek. This is the two-player version, a reimagining of an older game by the creators of King Domino and Jaipur. So if you're a big fan of those two games like me, then buckle in because I think you're going to really enjoy this one. As always, we will go through the setup first, show you how we've set up, and then we will go through the gameplay for you as well. So we've got our game boards here, and on our board we have got a variety of tiles. We have goods tiles and character tiles, and these are laid out in different layers. So we've got our inner square here. These ones are our starting tiles, so these will also match the two tiles that are given to the players at the start of the game, and we work our way around clockwise. Once we place those four, we take tiles from our stack of tiles here to complete the two outer squares here as well. To the side, we have our pirogue tokens. Each time a player completes a set of tiles, at least a set of 3, they can take any one of these tiles. There are only 5 for the game, so once they are all used, then there are no more, and we have a stack of spare pirogue tokens here which may be available to people during the course of the gameplay. Our spare tiles are left here, which will be used to replenish the game as and when it is required to do so, and we have our bag here of Deben tokens. These tokens, like this one here, will have different values on them that will be added to your score at the end of the game. We have our reference sheets here as well. We've left these here just in case you would like to take a look at them. We will be bringing them up for closer inspection as and when we either get our character tiles or our pirogue tokens. For the players, each player is given a corruption board. This will come into effect at the end of the game and will affect the end game scoring, and each player is given a marker to use for the end game score as well. Finally, both players are given 2 starting tiles, and we have our Unk, which will be used to move around the board to collect our tiles. So the game is split up over a few actions, so you can choose one of 3 actions for your turn. That is either collect a tile from the board, sell a set of at least 3 matching tiles, or play a character tile. Character tiles will provide you different actions that will help you over the course of the game. So let's dive in, and we shall get started with our top player here. So they get to take one of the 4 tiles in the middle. So let's take a look what they've got here. So we've got 2 wheat. So we've got nothing that matches at the moment. But if we go here and we take this one, we then place the Unk in the now vacant space. The Unk is placed in the direction of the markings here, so it will be in this column, which means our second player, their choice will be from these tiles here. So let's take a look. So we have got ourselves fish and tusks. So we have fish here, so we're going to go there, and then we're going to place that in the diagonal this way, and we're going to add that to our hand of tiles. Back to our first player. So they have got a cow and they've got 2 wheat there. So they can't get this wheat or this one because they're not able to choose that, but they will go here, take this cow, which means we're now on this horizontal. And the second player is going to go here. So we're going to jump onto this one. Now this is a wild tile, which means that we can add it to any set of 3. So if we take a look here, we could add it to this set on a future turn, which means that we have a set of 3 which will allow us to score at the end of the game. So back to player 1, we'll take a look. So we've got 2 cows and we've got 2 wheats here. So we are in this row. If they want to take this one, they will have to jump over both of these. So that is what we will do, because we do want the cow to go towards our set. These tiles are not added to our hand. Instead, they are placed face down on our corruption boards. Now, corruption is an inevitable part of the game, and this will determine who gets extra points at the end of the game. So you want to try not to get too much corruption, or at least less corruption than the other player. If you are the one with the least corruption, then you get to get some bonus points from the Debon bag here. So our second player, they will sell this set. So they're going to sell a set here. So we've got 3 matching because this is wild. So far we have got 1 scarab, which means if we didn't collect any more fish in the course of the game, we would get 3 points for this. However, there's always opportunity to add to that. So we have sold our first set, which means that our player will get a chance to take one of these. So we will take a look secretly at each Pirog token. So what we will do is we will bring this up for you as well, just for a better look. So we've got this one here, which will give us another turn. We've got this one here, which is just going to give us 7 points towards the end of the game. This one here is going to give us 2 points, plus we get to have a rummage around in the Debon bag here, see if we can get some more points. This one here is going to force a player to take a certain tile. It has to be in the direction that the Unk is facing. So for example, if we wanted the first player to specifically go after a tile, we can put that on there, which means that they would have to take additional corruption to get it. And this one here, we've got an ability to draw 2 Debon tokens and keep one of our choice. So we've got a few different things that we can do there, but what we're going to do is we're going to go in nice and early. We're going to take the 7 points. So we've got an extra few points already in the bag. This is not replenished, so these do not come into play. So we now only have 4 available left for people if they are selling sets. So we go back to player 1, and they're going to take a look here. They have got a set, so they're going to sell their set as well. So we will put that there for them, leaving their 2 tiles left over. And again, they will get to take a look. So they can take another turn. We can grab some golds. We can force the player to take one, or we can choose 2 tokens and keep one of them. So that is what we are going to do. So they've chosen their 2 tokens. We've got a 4 and a 7. We're going to keep the 7. And then that one is used up, and we'll just go over there. So back to player 2 now. So they've only got 1 tile left, which means that we will probably want to start getting more tiles. We're going to go here. The character tile can provide us with extra actions. So we have got this one here, which is the merchant, which will allow us to take any tile from the board without having to move the Unk or collect any corruption. We can also use it for wheat if we so wish as part of a set. Now we've chosen a character token, we get to place this in any of the 4 directions that we choose. So we are going to go, we'll still go upwards. So we now come back to player 1. They're going to take a look, see what they want. They're just going to take this one for now. They can start a new set, but they can also score with the scarabs on that set. So back to player 2, they're going to play their character tile, which means they won't be able to move on the board, but they will be able to collect something from the board without moving. So they are actually going to take this one here. So we've now got 2 towards a set, and we can also start looking at scoring quite big for that set as well. And back to player 1. let's just take this one here. So add that to their pile. And finally we've got player 2. So they're going to take this one. So now they have got a wild and 2 here, which means next turn they can sell a set and they can get another Pyrrho token. So that was in that direction. So player 1 is going to take this one here, which means that again on their next turn they can now sell a set as well. So player 2 is going to go here. So this one has got a Deben icon on it. What this means is that instead of adding it to our hands and using it towards a potential set, we can discard it immediately and then have a chance at getting some extra points. So that is what we are going to do. We have a rummage around in the bag. We score ourselves 6 extra points. So we've got a nice little selection of points there to take. So player 1 is going to go here, which is this one. So now they've actually got 4. So if they sell that set, they're going to get more points for it. And leaves this player. They are going to sell this set now. So we've got our 3 there. Let's leave that one on top so we can see what it is. And we get to take one of these. So what they're going to do is probably take this one because we want some more tiles. So we will take that one, which will allow us to take an action again. So we're going to go all the way over here and take this one. And now it is player 1's turn. So they're going to sell this set. So they've got a set of 4 there, and they get to take one of these 2 tiles. So we've got that to force them to take a specific tile, or we've got this one here, which is 2 points plus another Deben token. So they're going to go for that. And they get an extra 3 points there. So back to our first player, or second player rather. They will take this one here. That stays in that direction. And then this player is just going to take this one. It's the only option they have available to them. But it does have a scarab, which means that we can add it to this set if we get another 3 of these. So this player here is going to jump over and take this one, which means that this gets added to their corruption, this gets added to their hands. Now you can see that the board is running out, which means that soon we will need to replenish the board. Sometimes this will happen faster, sometimes you'll go through like this a lot of tiles before you need to replenish the boards. So player 1 here, they're going to take this one because they can add to this set later down the line. Which means our player here, they're going to sell another set, which means that they get this token, but there's only one thing that the other player can do, so they're going to pull it here, but it does mean that their next action, this is what they are going to have to do. So you have to use your action to take that one. So if, for example, player 1 had a set available that they could sell, they'd be unable to sell it at this point. So all the way over here to take this one and add it to their hands. Now that all of these have gone, there will be no future Pyrrho tokens available unless someone gets the Architect character tile, in which case they will be able to choose from these ones here. So player 2 will want to pick a tile, but they cannot because there is nothing in the line that they are in. So the Unk is removed and we replenish starting in the middle. So character tiles face down, goods tiles face up. and we just work our way around the board, replenishing the entire board. There we go. There we go, nearly there. So it looks like we might only have one replenishment on this. Oh look, we've got one tile left over there. So player 2 is going to take one of the 4 in the middle. So they're going to go straight for this one here. And they're going to add that to their hand. And then the unk is then placed into that position. So our first player is going to take a look through, see what we've got here. So they're going to jump over this one, and this will be added without seeing it to our corruption. And they're going to take this one here and add that to their hands. Player 2 is going to take this one here and add that one to their hands. And now player 1, let's have a look and see what we've got here. So you've got a couple of rubies or quartz and a mismatch of others there. So let's go here, take a character tile. So we have got this one here, which is the thief, which allows you to randomly steal a tile from someone else's hands. You're allowed to look at the back of the tiles, so if they're a character or a goods tile, for example, you can see what type of tile it is. But they can also use it as fish if they so wish to do so. So they could potentially get something to help complete another set. And they get to determine which way they want this to be oriented. So they are going to go this way here. So player 2 is going to take, let's have a look here. It's going to take this tile and that's going to place there like so. So they've now got a wild and they've got 2 other goods. And our first player is going to play their character tile. So we placed it off to one side. Let's just shuffle these up. And then we'll just take that top one there. So which one is it? There we go. So they get this one here. Player 2 now. They are going to go here and take this one. And they're going to sell that off immediately to draw something from the bag. So they get a token there. And it will keep going until the following happens. That a player cannot have any valid actions that they can take. So they can't sell a set of tiles. They can't use a character tile. Or they can't select a tile from the direction that they are facing. Once that happens, the game ends immediately and you move to the end of game scoring. Now, the way the end of game scoring works is you firstly count up your corruption tiles, but you also add to your hand any tiles that you hadn't yet sold. If you have a set of 3 that you hadn't sold, those are discarded. You don't get any points from them. So if we take a look here, for example, we don't have any sets of 3, but if we did, if that was a set of 3 quartz, they would get rid of it, and then the other tiles would be added to their corruption. You will then count up your corruption, and the player with the least will be able to draw a token from here, a Debon token, and they also get to draw an additional Debon token for every 3 tiles that they are below the player with the most corruption. We'll then go to the sets and the Debon tokens, and we will add up the scores from that, and that is on the back of this one here. So we will start up here and we would work out exactly what our score is. So if we just take a look how it stands at the moment, say player 2 here would get an extra token because it has least corruption, for example, so they get 9 points there. We would then count out all the points we have here, so we have got 25 points in these ones, so that would push us up to here. And then we would take a look at our sets, so there we've got 3, for example. Here we have got ourselves 9, so we go up to 37, and then here we have ourselves 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that would give us our end of game score. So that is everything for Sobek. I hope you enjoyed. I really do enjoy this game. I really like the strategy of the Unk. It kind of adds another dimension to the game beyond just a hand management and set collecting game. You really have to think about where you're going to move, what your opponent might be taking as well. So it kind of introduces that chess-like element to it where you're having to maneuver around the board to benefit you most and your opponent least. It's really bright and colourful as well. Everything is clearly laid out, so there's no ambiguity as to what pieces do or what things are represented by, and it's really clean. The setup is nice and simple as well. A little bit fiddly when you're first getting into it, the amount of tiles that you're laying out and the different areas, but overall it is relatively straightforward setup and you will be playing within minutes. The rulebook as well is really nicely laid out. A lot of examples, brightly coloured, easy to read. There we go. And gives us plenty of references as well, such as these cards here, which are really helpful when you're learning the game. So that is everything for this video. If you like the look of this game, we do have plenty in stock. It is currently our game of the week as well for the current week. If you'd like to try it out for yourself, we do have this copy in the board games library. That's £2 per person for the entire day, and that includes over 200 games as well. Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the boardroom.